Hello everybody, George Taylor from ImagiNERDing, heading into Kings Island. This is the second take. As I said Carowinds, I'm used to saying Carowinds. Here to celebrate the 50th anniversary of this astounding amusement park. I grew up in Cincinnati. This is my home park. I have such great memories of it. Looking forward to sharing the coasters with you and the experience of being here during the 50th anniversary of Kings Island. So let's go have an amazing day. Okay, everybody, first stop was at the French Cafe at the end of International Street. Got the Eiffel Tower there, and I've got this super adorable Eiffel Tower pretzel. They only do 50 of these a day, so you gotta make sure you get here early, although I don't think anybody's gonna be in this park today, which is gonna be great. Isn't that thing so cute? What a great idea for a 50th celebration.
I forgot to record a review, but I did enjoy the pretzel. I have to admit, most of it was because I was sitting under the Eiffel Tower and enjoying the view of Kings Island. As I mentioned earlier, I did grow up near Kings Island, but I didn't really discover my passion for roller coasters and amusement park history until my mid-20s. I'd moved away from Cincinnati with my family when I was 12 and did not get to go back to visit Kings Island until 2016. There were a lot of coasters that I didn't get to experience during my 2016 trip, so I needed to mark those off and get the coaster credits. First up was Flight of Fear, and I was kind of excited about this one because I knew that it had influenced Rock and Roller Coaster at Disney's Hollywood Studios. One of the Imagineers who helped design it said that they had visited Flight of Fear in Kings Island at Cincinnati in order to test the propulsion system to see if it actually would work. I got in line and I wasn't sure what to expect. I love to avoid spoilers. I knew it was a roller coaster in the dark, and it had a lot of similarities with Rock and Roller Coaster. That being said, the launch was fantastic, and the rest of the coaster left a little to be desired.
All clear. Ready, steady, spaghetti.
Now, I have a very specific type of coaster that I like, and Flight of Fear, along with Rock and Roller Coaster, just aren't my favorites. Nonetheless, I checked that one off and got the credit. Next one up for me is another new one and another, relatively new coaster, Orion, which is a B&M coaster. Those are some of my absolute favorite coasters. It has a tremendous lift hill, almost 300 feet with a 300-foot drop, and it's a pretty impressive coaster. It's not my favorite B&M, and it has some really interesting elements. But when you compare it to Mako and Fury 325 at Carowinds, it just sadly can't compare. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite coaster. But nonetheless, it's a great addition to the park. Next up was a new coaster, another new coaster for me, and again, another new one for the park. Mystic Timbers, a GCI coaster that I knew very little about. I always, like I say, try to stay away from spoilers, but this is a wooden coaster, not quite a terrain coaster, but it had some fantastic elements. Such a great ride, a great experience. It pairs very well with the Beast, which we'll talk about later. Just such a fun coaster with a lot of elements, and I enjoyed it. As I traveled through the park, got some great video of the coasters. I've ridden Diamondback before. Love it. It is a beautiful B&M coaster. Highly recommend it. But also had to spend some time on the old-time jalopies, the old-time cars. I remember this attraction from when I was a kid and had a blast on it then and got to experience it now. I'm glad they brought it back. It's a little bit different from what I remember, but still worth it. Of course, had to check out the Racer classic coaster that started off the coaster revolution back in 1972. This was one of my mom's favorite coasters, so I had to ride it in honor of her. And I also had to check out the Monster. And the Monster was a ride that my younger brother and I would ride over and over and over, along with the flying Dutch shoes and their spinning keggers. That's what we look forward to with every Kings Island trip. But I found out as an adult, I'm not that excited about it. Another coaster credit for me, a new one, was Invertigo. And I'm not a big fan of these coasters. It's a Vekoma, and they make a lot of coasters, especially for Disney and Universal, but this one is one of their older ones. Didn't hold up very well. It's kind of unique because you can face each other in the cars or the seats, and it did give me a little bit of a headache, but I got that one off my coaster credit list. It wouldn't be a visit to Kings Island without a trip on Banshee, another B&M coaster. This is a superb example of what B&M can do when they are given the ability to really plan out a really long coaster. They do so well when they get a lot of speed and distance. You know, you can compare this one to Montu at Busch Gardens, Tampa, or Afterburn at Carowinds. I always want to call it Top Gun. And those are a little bit shorter and a little bit more denser in their rides. Not like Banshee. Banshee's got some amazing elements, and wow, it just blows my mind every time I ride it.
All right, still celebrating the 50th anniversary. We've had a great time so far. Lines are low, and went ahead and got the Golden Fizz. Yeah, I had to make sure it's called the Golden Fizz. Excited about it. Pomegranate juice, I think. Passion fruit, ice, ginger ale, and a little golden shake of something. I'm not sure. You know, celebrate the 50th. We'll see. Well, that's really good. Really fantastic. And I get this great collectible moonshine thing to use. Anyway. I am outside the Tower Gardens, and this is a spectacular thing. Called the Tower Gardens because we are right outside the tower, and it is a 50th anniversary history of the park. It is fantastic. As we're walking through, there are big granite stone pieces in the ground, 50 of them that tell the history year by year of the park. And then there are also these fantastic Eiffel Towers that have been painted to resemble the current coasters. Diamondback is behind me right there, and this music is very loud, so I gotta kind of walk away from it if I can. But this is spectacular. You've got a big area of the park dedicated to the history of the park. It's right next to the carousel, right next to the tower, the Eiffel Tower. And let's see if I can get this shot in the background here. All these history plaques all over the entire place celebrating the 50 years of Kings Island. It is astounding and warms my heart so much to think that they have spent this much time and money just to celebrate the history of Kings Island. It's amazing. If you get the chance, come out here and spend some time. This place is truly, truly spectacular. And worth spending a good 20 minutes or so when you need to, you know, take a break from the park.
As with any theme park enthusiast, you've got to spend some time on the train. And of course, this is one I remember very fondly growing up in Cincinnati and visiting the park. It was always a must-do. And I remember the good old days back in the 1970s where they had some animatronics of some sort. And I thought they had some character actors that would roam the forest, but I don't think that actually was true. It's always a great little ride, a great experience, like visiting and riding the Walt Disney World Railroad at the Magic Kingdom. Have to do it, have to check it off every time. I think my only issue is I hate that it's become a mode of transportation for the water park. So it gets crowded on the second leg of the journey with a lot of people that are hot and tired and angry from the water park. But hey, it's a train in an amusement park. It can't get much better than that.
Wouldn't be a trip to Kings Island without getting some Skyline. Was gonna go for the chili, but it felt a little too much today. So I'm gonna dig into this cheese coney. Oh, and it came with fries. That's a gigantic amount of fries. Unfortunately, they're kind of old, but they were super busy. All right, it's been so long since I've had a really long couple years since I've had a good cheese coney. So hoping this is good. There's one right outside by the hotel, but I just haven't gone there yet. So, I mean, it's got the cheese piled on there. You can see the dog poking out of the bun. Oh, and it's got that chili. Here we go. Mmm. It's that taste, you just can't beat it. So, cheers.
And another coaster credit for me was the Woodstock Express. And you can check out my earlier video I did about the Sea Dragon. There's a lot of similarity between these two. It's a great wooden coaster. I also got a personal end of the evening ride on Flying Ace Aerial Chase. I've ridden this one at Carowinds. I'm a little bit too tall for this one, and I always wait till the evening to ride the kiddie coasters just to make sure, I don't, bump a kid out of line that really wants to ride it, but I got that credit, and we'll move on. Going back to the 50th, it was nice to see all the different food combinations that they did, especially naming them after rides and attractions. That it just was so neat to see what the master chef did to create these different food items and desserts. So no trip to Kings Island would be complete without a ride on the Beast. I didn't ride the Beast until 2016. I was a little afraid as a child, but it is a spectacular roller coaster, well worth the accolades. It is long, fast, powerful, everything that you want in a wooden roller coaster. That helix at the end is one of the most amazing elements of a roller coaster I've ever been on, and it is well worth the wait. Good job with that one. Adventure Express was a new credit for me, and I wasn't sure what to expect, but I am really loving it when these regional amusement parks start to theme their coasters. And this one had a really cool theme. It was basically like an Aero mine train, Big Thunder Mountain style. A lot of fun, really enjoyed it. Wish I'd experienced it during its heyday. Another coaster credit for me was the Stunt Coaster. I had ridden this one at King's Dominion, but didn't get this one on my 2016 visit. So what else can you say about this one? If you've experienced it, you know it. It's not the best coaster in the world, but I needed the credit. Yes, we did spend a lot of time eating Skyline Chili. It's a must in the Cincinnati area. I did spend a lot of time roaming the park in the evenings because I'd never spent a lot of time at night at Kings Island. I was surprised when I looked on Google Maps to where my childhood home was, and we were only like 25 minutes away, and always felt like it was a 2-hour ride to get to the park. But I spent some time enjoying the lights, enjoying International Street, all lit up. It was absolutely gorgeous, and they did a fantastic job with all of the 50 theming, the 50th anniversary merchandise, and it just warms my heart to see that the park has been taken care of so well, and that the community and the city and the area just loves Kings Island, that it's truly a part of what the area is. I really had a blast. I've said this on a lot of videos, and for many years I've been traveling across the country and visiting other theme parks and amusement parks, and I really love getting people outside of their Disney bubble and trying some of these other parks because they're a lot of fun. They might not have the same theming as Disney, or the rides, they may not have as many dark rides or family attractions, but they've got some great coasters, great food, great experiences, and a part of the local culture. Have you had a chance to visit Kings Island? What's your favorite coaster? Leave me a comment, let me know. I would love to hear from you. I'm George Taylor from ImagiNERDing, and I hope to see you in the parks.